TaxAct's filing software and live tax experts can help small businesses easily knock out their taxes. Actually, our experts can help you find deductions and credits for any sized business. Itty-bitty businesses, medium-sized, really big, mid-sized, small businesses, companies with 0 employees, and mom-and-pop conglomerates. Yep, our tax experts can help all of them. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Welcome to another episode of Hobby Nonsense. More than ever before this moment, I can honestly say I am so pleased to be joined by my exceptional co-host, Mr. Ray Solar Nuclear Power.
Don't stop.
Man of the hour.
Keep it going.
Off the top rope.
Come on. What you got?
Slam till they're down. I got nothing else. Solar Ray is here with me, everyone. If you can't see him if you're listening to this, so I do apologize. I'm going to try and paint the finest picture I can. Are you familiar with the luchador wrestler? Because if you can imagine,
is that just like a generic person?
Yes, yeah, just like the wrestler that has the luchador outfit on. This is what Ray is sporting at this moment. He's got the mask, at least, and I will say it's a pretty intimidating. I'm kind of scared looking at him.
I don't even do my makeup, so
no, you do not actually have makeup, do you?
Well, I mean, if you would have got the full essence of this mask with the makeup, it would be.
I don't know if I could have handled that, Ray. Honestly. Guys, we are doing this a little differently. We're recording from our homes, which I think is also kind of fun when we do that, because you get to see like a little bit of like our backgrounds, what's going on in our offices. Ray, as always, dominating the office category.
I can't interrupt you as well when we do it at home, though.
You can. No, do it. You're fine. You just did. And I think it was a perfectly timed interruption.
Well, I did it on purpose.
Well, you tested out your theory of interrupting, and I wouldn't even call it an interruption. It was an interjection of notable content. So thank you for that. How have you been, by the way? For the last 2 weeks, I've been gone.
Well, I'm older. I'm wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot has happened since you've been gone. I don't even know if we were still doing this podcast. He's been gone for so long. I don't even know. Who are you, first of all? I don't even know.
You were only missing on one of our regular podcasts.
Here's the thing. Jesse's been gone for like 5 weeks.
2 weeks.
Across the pond. That's a heck of a vacation, ladies and gentlemen.
It was work, too. There was work. I was scoping out the Pokemon battlefield for you. I will tell you this. The marketplace for Pokemon is dominating in the UK and Ireland. Like, that is the majority of what they have at these shows. And I would not call them TCG shows. Like, at least that's not what they were set up to be. But they are definitely TCG shows these days.
You know, I have and I've sent you this before. And there's something, and I don't know the specifics of this, but I know that in China, like in Asia, especially China, there's something to do where you can't necessarily you have to spend your money within China or something like that.
Okay. That sounds like a thing.
But they found a way to where you can, when you go abroad, you can basically purchase Pokemon cards, sell them, and get foreign currency to be able to invest offshore from China. So there's a lot of that weird Chinese. It's a big thing. I could be completely misconstruing what I'm saying, but there is the reason why I think, especially over in Europe, that Pokemon cards have been booming is because of the Chinese and other Asian markets using their money to I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say or how much I know about it. I might need to take a deeper dive into that, but it has something to do with that. And if you're listening and if you want to comment on it, put it down on the Spotify.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair enough request. Here's what I do know is in the foreign market that I was in, which is London and Dublin. These two markets have thriving Pokemon markets, and it's not just like American or like English Pokemon. Korean Pokemon does extremely well, apparently. There's also, I would dare say, probably almost any Pokemon does well. I know One Piece at the London Card Show was crazy popular. Like there was a ton of people going after One Piece. I am very curious where they go when it becomes more scarce, because or at least at this point, like I'm just starting to question more and more what our next TCG is going to be. But that's another subject. But that all of the interactions that I had with people buying and selling Pokemon, it was like, I don't know. It was more so than I remember seeing at any card show here that wasn't strictly dedicated to Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like where these shows are supposed to be sports shows, but they also have non-sports.
Again, Jesse's not much boots on the ground.
Whatever. And I was at 2 international card shows. I would say that's pretty boots on the ground.
I have been telling him that in all these shows that are supposed to be sports shows, they have been dominated by the TCG market, which leads me to my question here, Sports Boy. After you taking the trip abroad, have you changed your tone or thought process on anything card related once you saw a global scale of you going to Europe?
I have been more focused on buying singles than I ever have been, which I've never been. And to be clear, though, I have never been a big single buyer. I've often just been, I buy wax and I break it, and then I'll occasionally buy a single card here and there if it meets the specific criteria of my collection. But
like we went over last time, because you don't know what you want, but when you see it, you know what you...
I know it when I see it. And
which leads me, and I know I'm interrupting you, and I'll
you're fine.
Your train of thought. You made a video, and in this said video was a Back to the Future hoverboard, not only signed by Christopher Lloyd, but Marty McFly himself. And did you come home with this hoverboard?
No, because it was overpriced. And that is not the guy who had it, I hope he gets every penny for it. And maybe there's reasons for the price that he had it at. But you can buy other ones for cheaper than what he had that one at. It wasn't like everything was, from what I was hearing, it didn't sound like everything at his table was, but that specific item was like, no, I know I could do probably a better deal on that over on this side. But that's the thing, right? You're in a different market where some things sell better or cheaper than other items might, and vice versa. I would say the market for celebrity autos over there, you can clean up. I just did not have the time to go through everything. There were some people, 2 different people I know of. One, her prices were a little high. I did a little video. I showed some of them. Some of those prices were a little high, but there was another guy who had autos from every Rittenhouse product ever, every like early 2000s to maybe mid 2000s tops non-sport product, like these celebrity autos in binders that you could just go through and buy at ridiculously good pricing. But that's the thing. Like the show was ending when I finally found this guy's table. He had binders on binders on binders of all these celebrity autos. And I'm realizing like, oh, that's like, he's asking 10 pounds for this one and 15 pounds for like this Selma Blair and like these other, like these actors and actresses that may not be like superstars in some cases. Other times they were, but like they were devastatingly cheap. And I just found myself being like, oh, well, I just want to like comp a couple things here and there. And I wasn't able to do that in that moment. So I was like, hey, where can I go to find these? And he's like, well, I'll be at this show and this date and this show. And I'm just like, well, if you can't tell, I'm not from here. So I'm not going to be around. Can I go online? Can I look this up? He's like, well, I don't have a shop online. And I occasionally post on like my Instagram, like some cards, but definitely not all of them. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And I'm there. I didn't have an option. Like there was like he didn't have any signage of his name anywhere. Like he told me his name, and I think I may have gone and followed him on Instagram, but now I can't even remember that because it was like it. They have cards, but the marketing of those cards is lacking, and which is really funny too, considering is how like I talked about this on SCN today, but there's less than 10 traditional hobby shops over in the UK and Ireland combined. Less than 10. Like they've got like some TCG shops and things like that, but they don't have like your shops that have like sports and non-sports and TCG and boxes you can sift through, like your traditional LCS that you would expect to find in the States. There's less than 10 of them there. And so with that being the case, well, hang on, let me just finish this. With that being the case, it does make me think like, oh, you would think breaking and or online shopping would be their biggest sources of getting their collectibles and or product for themselves because that's how they can get it. But in breaking definitely seems to be growing pretty fast over there. But as far as like getting it any other way, I think there's a big opportunity for a lot of these people to like actually put their cards out on a marketplace where people could go and find them by a Google search and or putting them on a platform like, I don't know, Fanatics Collect or whatnot, or Fanatics Live, all of these places where I can go out and buy into a break and or just buy singles. That's what a lot of these people need to be doing, because otherwise you just have to go to the shop or go to the show. You have to go to a trade show, one of these, local card shows, and try and get the cards that way. And I just don't think that's realistic for most people.
Do you think that's just the LCS as a whole, the traditional thought of us when we think LCS? Do you think that's like an American-made?
I think it is. Like even when I was talking to the guys, Jason and Enzo are the guys behind Soccer Cards United. Met them years ago after we started the Hobby the Sports
Soccer
Cards
Cards United is a shop.
Well, Soccer Cards United is their podcast, but they opened a shop just this last year called Atlantic Collectibles, and they are the guys who, for the last 3 years, have hosted the Dublin Card Show. There are no other card shows in Ireland, like nothing sizable by any means. Like maybe some small back rooms of a pub or something like that, but nothing to this extent. And so they are very well versed in all this, but they were saying like, the traditional shop that you're used to in the States just does not exist over here. Like cards are sold in the village grocery store. I actually did find a mall when we were in Galway, Ireland. Like there was an actual a mall that had multiple shops in it. What's funny is the mall had a castle wall in it because it was like historic and they couldn't like break it down or anything. So you just have to build around it. And so it's like you have a Claire's like jewelry store and then a Subway and then a 1,500-year-old castle. Well, I guess it's probably like 600 years old, but still like this castle wall just in the middle of this mall. But in that mall, there was a comic book shop that I went into and they have cards, but they didn't have anything like that most collectors are wanting right there. All the hot stuff had already been bought. The stuff they had left over was just like, products that nobody was really as interested in. And so if you want like say a Topps product, the only place you can go is to the Atlantic Collectibles in Dublin, like to Jason and Enzo's shop. That's really the only place you can go unless you go online. And if you want things like Pokemon and things like that, you just have to hope that maybe somebody's got some that they're selling at a gas station or at the local Spar or the Tesco. And these are like
what are Spars and Tesco?
Those are like their local convenience shops, like just little village shops you can just pop in, grab like a pint of milk and a bite to eat or something real quick.
Like a Dollar General, like a GG.
I would say a little bit more upscale, but something along the lines of that, just the convenience factor.
Are you saying the Dollar General ain't upscale?
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
My girl Gladys down the road will say otherwise.
I'm not talking about Gladys. Gladys is a saint. We all know that. But yes, for everybody else, nothing compares to Spar or Tesco. These are great establishments and I love them very much. But that's where they go to get their cards. And so to have the fact that just the fact that you have a shop in Ireland, that's awesome. But for everybody who doesn't live somewhat close, because I mean, where I was staying was like 4 hours away. It's not something that's easily attainable. So you would think people should be out there marketing their stuff online as best as possible, because that's really the only way you're going to get it. And that's where I noticed, oh, I think a lot of that is missing. So that is something that I noticed. That's something that I think also lends itself to, hey, if you can go to a card show, especially in the UK, because they've got a lot more of them there, or if you can go to one of the ones in Dublin, then do it, because you could probably find yourself some decent deals. I got you a couple of Topps Pokemon sticker packs from I think it was like from 2000 or 99. I can't remember exactly when it was from, but I got you a couple. I was going to give them to you in the office today, but since we're not in the studio, I'll have to save them. I bought myself. Someone was there doing, like, they did art, like the sketches on the Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And so this one I got, they did like a grass energy, a water energy, and like a fire energy card. And on those 3 cards, they had drawn all 3 evolutions of like the Charizard and Venusaur and Blastoise on there.
That's cool.
And it was like, oh dang, it was really cool how they had done it. I was like, in for £30 each or something, or €30 each. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. It's a fun little thing. But besides that, I got some great deals on some Disney cards.
Do we have any pickups? Like, what are the pickups?
Yeah. Here, let me see
the pickups. What did Jesse pick up while he was across the pond?
Well, you know what's funny is, like, I bought this, but it didn't end until I was across the pond. I had bid on this. After our last episode, I went out and like, we talked about like the rookie cards of different genres and or for Pokemon. And you were a big proponent. That was like the thing that you weren't really talking about necessarily at the time. That you finally revealed on that Q&A episode.
For bringing it up again, but
no, I'm glad you did for me and anybody else. But you talked about how like the 96 Pokemon Bandai cards were kind of like the actual rookies of these Pokemon. I spent over $2,000 on these, like 6 of these cards. I spent. I got a PSA 9. Well, they haven't come in yet. So I got these off of Fanatics Collect. So they're in the vault over at Fanatics. $1,350 I paid for a PSA 9 Charizard Red Prism card. That was by far the most expensive. The other ones were maybe a couple hundred or so each. But yeah, I got a few PSA 8 Blastoise just because I put bids on all of them thinking I was going to get outbid. Like, I paid $76 for one and I paid $150 for another one. So it just depends on which one I
think that's a great buy, especially with the everything that's going on right now with the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. We know that the Fire Red Leaf Green recently just released for the Switch 1 and 2. So everyone's playing that currently at the moment. You know, their nostalgia is
not just everyone. You specifically were playing it up until the time we started recording today.
Yeah, correct. I'm trying to get a shiny Charizard, so I'm on my restart like 500 trying to get
that. But speaking of the other things that I bought actually at these shows, so this was across like both the London and Dublin card show. In London, I got this 2023 Disney 100 Chrome Tigger. It's pink. It's out of $3.99. I didn't pay much for it because it is pretty high numbered, but I was just like, I just want to have one. At the Dublin show, I ended up buying a number of cards off the Third Down guys because they were very hospitable. I went up to their shop. We did that interview on the last episode at their shop. It was very cool, but they also have like a lot of stuff that I'm into, which is a little bit of sport and a bunch of just nonsense stuff. Well, they actually have a lot more sport, but I only bought a little bit.
A lot of football?
But yeah, they have football, but they also have football, American football. They've got a ton of American football. But I bought this Disney 100 Larry the Cable Guy signed card. So this was cool. Like obviously before Larry the Cable Guy was signing for Disney for Topps.
That's a terrible signature.
Oh, well, that's how it is now. Like his auto is very questionable. I wonder if something's happened to the guy. But so I got that card. I did find this Japanese Otani Japanese high school card.
Dude, that's crazy.
It was pretty cool. I got a number of like base and a few refractors from Disney 100 as well. I was really going after Disney. This is a whole different topic that for another time because I'll go off for longer. But I do think the Disney Topps cards are going to be the most valuable modern cards of the last, I don't know, 10 years.
Just like any year, Disney Topps?
Well, 2023 and 2024 specifically. And
why
hopefully 2023 was Disney 100 and 2024 was the first Disney Chrome. Gotcha. I think those in 2025, I've gotten theories that, well, it was the first one available in the US in 2025. So maybe, but as it stands right now, 23 and 24 by far.
The ones that you picked up, are they 23 and 24? Or
20, they're all 23. All the ones I've talked about are the Disney 100, and that came out in 23. I did end up, so I posted about those McDonald's promo cards. So there was one that they weren't giving away that I found out only after I left the show. They did have a Grimace promo card, but they were just giving it to people. Well, one of the girls at the Third Down booth went and sweet talked them and got me the Grimace card, so that when I went to go meet them later on in that week at their shop,
that's cool.
She gave it to me. So I was very excited for that.
Do you think that Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you think that Grimace and the mascot for Western Kentucky University are related in any way?
I hadn't until you said it in this moment, and just now I'm thinking they very much are. Yes, 100%. Luke Littler, darts champion.
There he is.
Out of 25, got that auto.
How old did you say he was? Because the dude looks like 50.
He does, but he's like very young. Like I want to say early 20s or something. So
yeah, there is. He needs to lay off whatever he's doing.
Listen, Littler is a self-proclaimed wrestling fan. And the origins of his walk-on song come from his trip to Orlando, Florida for WrestleMania 33. If you don't know, if you haven't seen like walkouts for these dart players, just do yourself a favor. Go Google it. It is pretty amazing.
Do you know what Littler's walkout song is?
I know the song. I just can't. Hang on. Let me see. Luke.
Is it a wrestler's song?
Luke Littler walkout. Okay. Walk-on song is...
Is it glorious?
It's Green Light by Pitbull featuring Flo Rida.
What song is
that? It's his song.
I'm just thinking of that. What is that? John Legend? Just give me the green light.
This is not that, but this is it's still very entertaining to watch.
Mr. Worldwide.
The other cards were I pulled the Agent Hill, Kobe Smulders auto when I was in the Fanatics shop in London. I bought one of the Squidward Gallery cards. It's not numbered, but I wanted a Squidward Gallery card, and the Third Down guys had one at the Dublin show.
Do you know how many Squidward Gallery cards there are?
Not off the top of my head, but I would guess. I think it's somewhere around like 15. It could be.
Oh wow!
It could be more, it could be less, but it's not much more or much less. It's somewhere around there.
That would be cool to have all that collection.
Oh, for sure. I got this vintage Frank Sinatra from like Turf cigarettes. It's like a caricature. It's like they call it the Frank Sinatra in the Kissing Bandit series of 50. It's numbered 38. I also Zootopia got this Disney from the Disney Chrome 2025. I bought this card out of 5. It's the insert for Judy from Zootopia. I got this card because if anybody saw just recently, Judy Hopps just set a record for highest selling Pixar card.
Really?
Yeah. So Pixar or Golden just had an auction. I'm pulling it up as we speak. So Golden had an auction last week that ended, and it sold for $56,000. It was as a PSA 9 of her 1/1 Superfractor from the 2023 Disney 100 set. Again, another reason why I'm all in on this Disney 100.
Asia's huge on Zootopia.
Oh, exactly. Zootopia is huge in China.
Out there.
And that is 100% one of the factors that went into me buying this out of 5 Judy Hopps card.
When I went to a celebrity con, there was a couple people dressed as Judy Hopps as cosplaying. Awesome costume. Super easy to do. Yeah.
I imagine it's very similar to like Lola Bunny, if I had to guess. But yeah. And then last card was I got this Mickey Rourke. It's a patch. It's not an auto, but it's a patch out of like 2009 Icons football from Upper Deck. They had a movie Icons, and it was a Letterman. It's the Y from his Letterman jacket. I don't know if he ever actually wore. I don't think he did. It says you received a trading card with a manufactured patch. Enjoy your memorabilia card. So yeah, it wasn't anything. It was cheap, but I thought it was kind of fun. And Mickey Rourke is just cool. Yeah, he's entertaining.
I recently watched the movie Expendables over the weekend.
Oh, how was it?
Was in there. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen any of them. No.
They're pretty good. Super violent, especially the first one. So,
okay.
I'll watch it around with any young kids.
Not for the little ones. Okay. Here's the thing. We have our guest, Adam Gellman, joining, but I also have several things that I need to mention. But before I'll save a number of them for afterward. I did want to mention one thing, which is there's another TCG out there right now that is offering a big bounty. Well, actually, let me start that over. There's a TCG that is offering a huge purse for a championship game, Rush of Ikorr. Are you familiar with this game at all? Have you heard of this?
Say it one more time.
It's called Rush of Ikorr. It's
never heard of it.
It's a TCG that came from Upper Deck. Upper Deck put this out, but they've made this basically. They're putting out this press release that comes out tomorrow. So by the time this podcast comes out, it will come out. But they're putting out like this first place prize of $30,000, where they're doing the game where it's like a 3x3, so you have to have 3 players on your team.
That's how you play Commander for Magic.
Well, and you don't have to do 3x3 to play the game, but it is for this championship. It will be teams of 3, and each person who wins would get $10,000. Second place, each person that wins gets $7,000. Third and fourth place, each person that wins gets $4,000. And then they even have like each person on the teams 5th through 8th get $2,100. I don't know. It's like, I can't imagine like there's that many people out there who are playing that are good. But I was like, if you play or if you've played before and you're decent, you should really consider like going to this championship or trying to get in, because you might be a big fish in a small pool and be able to win yourself some cash going to this event. But yeah, it's happening. Actually, I've got the date. Let me look.
How many fish you put in your pool?
Oh, at least I'm a 7 to 8 fish man. How about you?
I keep my fish in ponds.
Yeah?
Like I'm swimming around in my pool.
Yeah, that's smart.
But do you think that we need to find a third man to play this TCG?
Ooh, are we getting in on Rush of Ikorr? Were we entering this championship?
I think that's super smart for Upper Deck to, whatever, if they were to take that money and put it into like traditional advertising.
Yes.
It would be kind of dumb. Now it's like, okay, this is the purse. Now everyone that plays the game, it'll make news, and now we know about the TCG, and we could start playing it. Even if we don't win, if we like the mechanics of the game and we just like the characters and everything that goes on the TCG, it would be a good way to get people to play the game. I think that's brilliant.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, whatever this is, I think it's great marketing either way. Like you're giving the real fans, the people that you want playing it, you are giving them something back. And I think that's the best way to do it, is give your fans something, and they'll continue to promote for you. But it's happening at Gen Con this year. So
where is
Gen Con is like I didn't realize this, I had to look it up, but Gen Con is like the largest TCG gaming convention, the largest and longest running one. So this is happening between July 30th and August 2nd this year at Gen Con. They'll be having this tournament. So
where is it?
This year, let me see. It says
Orlando or something.
In Indianapolis.
Ooh.
You know what? It's also, I think it's happening at the same dates of the National, or I think there's some crossover. You could probably go to both of these events. That's interesting.
The National is not in Indianapolis, though.
No, it's in Chicago. Okay. So yeah, it's not right on top of each other, but they're not terribly far apart.
I'm surprised the National hasn't done one in Indianapolis. That's a very good place to even have something like that.
Who knows? After this year, it's going to be in Detroit. By the way, I keep getting people asking if you're coming to the National this year.
When is it?
That week, like the week of the first week in August, last in July, I believe.
It's gonna be tough.
I'm washing my hair that week.
That's gonna be tough because it's gonna be my wife's 40th birthday, the 7th.
Oh yeah, plenty of time to get back for that. Yeah, so you'll be good.
Tough. Hey, what'd you do to your finger?
Oh, so you know how like we're not in the studio right now recording this podcast?
Yeah.
I was trying to get my laptop to turn on. Like I can't get. I consider myself decent with tech. I went through all the troubleshooting steps. I finally got to the point where it's like, all right, you have to like unscrew the bottom of your laptop and unplug your battery from the motherboard. And when I'm doing this, like I do it, but I'm like trying to separate this frame from the top of the bottom of the keyboard, and I'm sliding my finger along, and I just slice it right open on that sharp laptop metal. And so now I got a cool little tie-dye Band-Aid.
Right?
So I'm rocking that. Oh, I'll be better than ever. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm healing as we speak. I can feel myself growing more powerful.
You know that Confucius once said, "Man that wakes up with itchy butt wakes up." Man that goes to sleep with itchy butt wakes up with stinky finger.
He did say that, Ray. Thank you so much for that. And on that note, let's bring on our guest, Adam Gellman.
Before we jump into today's episode, quick shout out to our sponsor, eBay Live. If you think eBay is just a marketplace, you're missing a whole side of it. eBay Live is where real-time excitement meets rare, exclusive, hard-to-find cards and collectibles. You can watch live auctions, catch exclusive drops, and buy directly from trusted and, quite frankly, the best sellers like myself while it's all happening. It feels like a show, not just shopping, with great hosts, the aforementioned me, creators, and streamers. Plus, everything's backed by eBay's protections and authenticity guarantees. To check it out, download the eBay app, tap the eBay Live button right under the search bar. Make sure you follow, obviously, Sports Cards Nonsense. Let's get back to your show.
Hey, guys.
Adam,
baby.
What? Oh, Adam Gellman.
Ray, that mask is amazing, dude.
I told Jesse I didn't have time to do the makeup, or else we would got like 100%.
The makeup's awesome too.
So we're already recording, but I can cut this out if you feel like it does not need to be on the air.
It does not need to. I just wanted to show, because Ray mentioned on one of the other podcasts that he was a Rayquaza collector, and I'm somewhat of a Rayquaza collector myself. So
what are you talking about? This is on the pod. I'm keeping this. Why would we not talk about this?
Yes, Adam. That's what I'm talking about.
What did you just show?
No, it's just it was part of my ever-growing collection that I'm trying to hedge for Adam, how much stuff that's coming in wrestling.
Adam, that Gold Star, did you recently pick it up, or have you had that in the collection?
Recently, I had to because they're getting too expensive.
Could you tell us how much you paid for it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, that is troubling. I'm now very curious.
Absolutely not.
Just so you know, Adam, when I first got back in, I can't remember when I got my Gold Star, I traded a PSA 10 Umbreon and a PSA 10 Giratina for.
Yeah. See, I've been getting like a bunch of stuff recently, like just because I see what it's doing. I've always had a connection to it, and like it's just crazy. But yeah, please cut this out because I don't want, like, as much as I like talking about it, it's not something that is not really like my brand, if you don't mind.
Okay, Adam, just so you know, not to brag, one of the first things that on my collection list is to get all the Gold Stars, and I finally completed that task 2 years ago. And the last one that I needed was a Espeon, and I paid.
Oh, nice.
I paid $1,500 for a PSA 1 Espeon.
I mean, it's gone up since then. I mean, those Pop Series 5 packs are like $3,500 a piece now, just for a Mega Degen rip.
It's insane.
Okay, I'm going to ask this one more time to keep this in, because I think this is great, fun content, and it's a fun conversation. But if you still say no, I'll ask them to cut it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at the end. Let's see how the rest of this goes.
We're keeping it 100%.
Jesse comes back from Europe, and all of a sudden we're just on Irish time here, just
Listen,
having a good time.
This is a great time. We're about to break out the whiskey. All right, Adam Gellman is joining us. Adam, who do you represent? Like, as far as like social media or anything like that, how can people find you?
I am on Main Event Wrestling Cards. You can go to patreon.com/main event wrestling cards. It is all free. So I'm just using Patreon as the platform. So you can join for free and have a good time.
Nice.
Cover all the wrestling stuff from tops to the actual stuff that's going on TV. Like we just started a podcast on the Stacking Slabs Network called Book to Last, which has been absolutely awesome. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter at SC Uncensored or on Instagram at WWE Gellman.
Perfect. All right. Now that we've gotten intros out of the way, what's your favorite meal to eat when you're feeling sick?
Me is chicken soup. I'm Jewish, and my mom, like, it is Jewish penicillin. Yeah, matzo ball soup. Like my grandmother used to make the best matzo ball soup in the history of the planet, and don't at me because it's not going to be a fair fight.
All right, people, if you need to add him, now you know his social media. So
yes,
there you
exactly.
go. All right, we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, and we've gotten the general nonsense question out of the way. I want to know, we're having you on because obviously there's a lot of talk in the WWE world, especially when it comes to cards that Topps is putting out. We are seeing Topps Universe has just released. What are your initial thoughts on this product?
You know, we just had Topps on our podcast, and we were talking about all of the event worn gear that is all over this product. It is so incredible to be able to rip it and have a good time with it because, yeah, exactly. Ray has probably ripped a few boxes from what I'm seeing on the screen if you're watching along with us. And I think like Topps really has used their access and their relationship with the WWE through Fanatics to bring just incredible stuff. I posted on Twitter earlier that one of the gear that they're using for Tiffany Stratton's cards was actually from her SmackDown debut. So like they actually have like pieces of gear that were worn on TV in a match. I absolutely love it. All on card autographs. It's not too insanely priced. And, you know, it's fun to open because there's tons of really cool designs and, you know, cool stock patterns on the back. So you have like fireworks and, you know, electric and this and that and the other thing. It's so much fun. So
I've been noticing that I have not heard a single person bad mouthing this product. Like, you know, there's always like the naysayers out there, but everybody that I keep either seeing them posting about it or talking about it in one way or the other is very happy with it. And the more I have not, so since I was out of the country, I haven't had a chance to break, and we are going to be breaking. Ray is going to be breaking, and I am going to be his sideman in this project this Friday over on Fanatics Live. So guys, go check it out. We'll have breaks posted by the time you're hearing this, but we are finally going to be able to break it together. I haven't ripped any. Ray just ripped a box of it himself. He said nothing but very kind and good things, but I think it's all deserved. Like you said, like the relics that are in there, the fact that you get, it's 2 autographs a box, I believe. It's 2 autographs and 1 relic card in every box. Have you seen, Ray has convinced me that there are no foil factors that have been hit yet, but I'm sure
there's plenty. There's plenty that's been hit. The Rhea Ripley one of one has been pulled. A bunch of them have been pulled, yeah.
The Rhea Ripley did get pulled? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
The auto or no?
Auto relic. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's pretty big. So, but there's obviously still plenty of others, I'm sure, out there.
I mean, we're in the early stages of this product for sure. And like, it's huge. It's a huge set. So there's tons of the 101s everywhere.
Well, you say it's a huge set, but honestly, what I really appreciated, like, even though it is like, it's a huge base set, there's 300 different base cards, but there's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbered parallels. I am so thankful for that. I like, because again, that still sounds like a lot to some people, I'm sure, but in this day and age, it's not unusual to see like 10 or 15 numbered parallels, especially when we're talking about like a set that like was going to be popular. I knew it was, just because for the sheer fact that we haven't had a WWE product come out in quite some time. So I am very happy about that. I am curious, have you ripped much of this yourself?
I've ripped quite a bit, yeah. And I'm still got about 30 pending case bricks. Yes, I'm a degen.
Oh, wow.
Ready for Becky Lynch because I got to collect. I'm a super collector, so trying to get everything that I can for her. And the event used stuff that's what I'm like. If you were watching along, you could see on my wall, like I've got ring worn stuff on my wall because I collect all that stuff too. So seeing a product where you can actually pull stuff that they wore on TV and wore in events, I'm going nuts for it. I ripped about a case, and I had so much fun with it because you have like all these different autographs. You get 2 per box. It's like, again, like Chrome right now, you want to go out and rip a box, it's like $500. This you can find at most card shops, $250, $300, and you can rip a couple of boxes and not feel like you're, need to go lie down afterwards, right?
Yeah,
like because
exactly.
you're depressed. Like it's really cool to see that Topps was able to sort of like say, okay, we understand 2025 wasn't our best year, right? We only got out like 3 hobby products, but now we're getting these rapid fire. We've got Universe Exalted just went up for pre-order this morning. We've got Royalty coming. We've got Chrome coming. Like Topps is really sort of cranking these out now, and we're going to have a true test of this really bullish WWE market to see how everybody's sort of playing into this. And I think Universe is a really nice first shot across the bow.
Do you think that we're going to be to the point of being flooded with products? Are you worried about that at all?
I would say like the demand right now is far outpacing the supply. Like Topps Universe isn't exactly easy for a lot of people to get like case after case of.
Yeah.
But which is unfortunate because it should be more readily available. But I think Exalted is going to be limited run. They've already said that it's a 1-pack product. So like
5 cards per pack, I believe.
5 cards per pack. So you're not going to have much of it out there. And then Royalty is like super premium. We've seen it in UFC and tennis and basketball. That's the one that's going to have the WrestleMania auto relics that are going to be probably record-setting cards. And then you go into Chrome, which is going to be a flagship type product. It leads off the 2026 calendar. So I think like we'll get a lot of stuff. But when you have like 50 rooms on Fanatics Live and 50 rooms on Whatnot running 24/7, like I think we're going to be fine.
Well, I guess my thought is if Ray's going to be breaking this, I am concerned that he's not going to have enough costumes to wear. But
yes,
I don't know.
More masks.
Listen,
more masks.
There's so many wrestlers. I can pull out vintage. I know that Jesse said he's got his Rikishi costume ready for Friday.
We need to see that.
So I never spoke those words.
Live and in the flesh. And Adam, we know we got some breaks going on Friday, so I highly expect Adam to be purchasing those.
I will be, yes. If you have Becky Lynch slots available, they're probably already bought.
Yeah, right. I'm curious if this is if this is like the first product out, what do they need to do to like continue to up the game? Because I know, isn't it Royalty that's going to have like those WrestleMania patches in it? Because I feel like that's like a nice next step up.
Yeah.
So Royalty is going to have booklets. They're going to have triple, quadruple autographs. They're going to have the WrestleMania auto relics, Chrome, and all these products. Like one of Topps's hallmarks is like these inscriptions. Like I can go run over there and grab the Becky Lynch one that I have, but like the wrestlers are putting really unique things on their cards. I mean, for Universe, you saw Ethan Page, who's one of the wrestlers, right? Don't bother me at the airport. You have CM Punk writing Dominic Mysterio is an idiot. Like, all these things are on these cards. And I think that adds like a level of collectability that just it makes people like me who super collect these people want to go out and chase them to the ends of the earth. And as long as that continues to be unique and fun, which I think it will be, like I don't think that there's really anything that we're going to stop chasing as collectors. But then you add in stuff like the WrestleMania auto relics, who historic matches, John Cena's 17th record title win. You have Jey Uso's first title win. You have Dominic Mysterio. You have all of these people that have won titles at WrestleMania. Like we've had sort of similar stuff in other sports. Like you had, Topps now bringing a lot of stuff like from the Olympics and from baseball and stuff, but we've never had that in wrestling. So like this is the first opportunity that's going to have. They've already previewed debut patches. So as people are debuting on Raw and SmackDown, like they're going to have those just like they do in baseball and basketball and football. So, I mean, like Topps is continually leveling up the game, and we still don't know what they're going to do for WrestleMania or for Fanatics Fest this year. In the past, they've done special stuff for that too.
Are you excited? Are you happy about the fact that they included guys like Shaquille O'Neal, Rob Gronkowski, Jason Kelsey? There's a number like Floyd Mayweather. I think there's a number of like other like Tyson, guys. Yeah, Tyson's in there. But I didn't notice like there weren't a lot. Oh yeah, Pete Rose was in there.
Yeah, Pete Rose.
But I didn't notice a lot of autos for those guys. I think it was just like the cards. Like, do you wish they would have done something more, or is it just cool just to see them in there?
I mean, I would love to pull a Rob Gronkowski wrestling auto. I think that would be awesome. I've said for years that they should put the wrestlers in Ginter and all the other sets that they do. But yeah, I mean, like Jason Kelsey, Rob Gronkowski, Floyd Mayweather, like they've all had experience in WWE. We've only had really one celebrity autograph so far, and that's Jelly Roll had Topps Now cards way back when in SummerSlam. But as more come through, like I want to see Bad Bunny get cards. I want to see like all of these celebrities get cards and have autographs, because it adds this enormous chase to the product. Can you imagine if Topps put out a 101 Bad Bunny Superfractor autograph? Like how much of an insane chase that would be. Yeah. And considering he's like the biggest star in the world. And like, I think like that's the type of stuff that Topps has access to be able to do. But because they're not under real, like regular wrestling contracts, you have to negotiate special rights with them. And that's where I think it gets tough. So putting Rob Gronkowski in a wrestling product, maybe they have some stickers sitting around. Maybe they have, you know, something that they could put, but for an all on card product, I don't know if that's really feasible. Right.
I saw, of course, John Cena is to be expected to be in this product, but switching gears a little bit, there's that other John Cena commemorative collection product that Topps made. I bought one because I think you could only buy one.
You could only buy one, yeah.
But it hasn't gone out yet. Like it hasn't shipped. Do you feel like there's going to be like an overload of John Cena?
I mean, John Cena has signed for more. I mean, like he just cranks out signatures like nobody's business. But I think like what I've always told people is like Hulk Hogan hosted signings at his store every month for like 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was. It didn't devalue his signature because it's all about the prestige of the item in which the autograph is signed on. So like when you have a set like John Cena, you have like a logo piece from his sock that he wore on one of those last matches that he had. I mean, like, I think that adds a layer of collectability that sort of supersedes the common autograph that he has, because he signs for Topps since like 2000, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he signs at every show. He signs for every fan because he's like one of the best people in wrestling. And like, you know, it's not necessarily about how many autographs he signed. I mean, somewhat it might be, but it's also like not going to devalue the truly special and desirable ones, I don't think.
Can I just say, I kind of wish he would sign less. Like, I'm sure like if you're a fan, you don't want that. But at the same time, for those who are like collectors and they want that card to go up in value, it's like, well, everybody's got one, so I don't know.
Well, you got to think too, like to Adam, you know, he was signing at every show. He's not doing shows anymore. So the only way that you can get these signed John Cena cards or John Cena autographs are in these cards going forward. He's not going to do a Comic-Con or anything else anymore that I know of, you know, or any of these WrestleMania super shows or anything like that. So if you want a John Cena autograph, you're going to get him. You're going to have to get him in these products.
Yeah. We are talking about obviously the commemorative set, but also the WWE Universe. We talked about Exalted, which is a 5-card product coming out. Topps Chrome, and then Royalty. Is there any other products that we know of or have been hinted at this point?
Not so far, but I would expect like we're going to get quite a bit coming around the industry conference, which is happening in early April. So last year, that's when we found out about everything. That's when Topps sort of lays out their plans for the year. So I would expect like last year we saw, hey, We saw this commercial that was released right as they took over the license. It had Dynasty in the commercial. We never got that product. I think it gets pushed to 2026. So I think like stuff like that, hopefully we get definitive collection. Hopefully we get some of these super premium products, but also, I'd like to see like a flagship top set. I think like, even though we get Chrome, even though they do stuff like that, that would be cool. Cosmic, whatever it might be. We've already seen that they are signing a lot of these cards at shows at the Raws and SmackDowns. So we know that Cosmic inserts are going to be part of 2026 Chrome, but I'd like to see stuff maybe Midnight or other sort of themed sets. Maybe they bring back Transcendent. I mean, they did that in 2019 through 2021. Absolutely incredible product.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I'm more of a premium collector. Like, I love the high-end stuff. Like, that's sort of my thing now, because when you have as many cards as I do clogging up your closet, it's probably not best to take in hundreds of base cards. But like, there are a lot of wrestling collectors out there that are asking for more affordable stuff, and it just doesn't exist right now because the demand is so insanely high. And like, we were talking with Topps, and they're trying to do the same thing as well, even keeping their product releases low. It's just the secondary market demand drives them up so high because so many people want them. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I thought this was going to be the one that came out where it's like, 200, maybe a little over, but somewhere around $200 a box. But I believe like David Adams and a few others, they've got it listed at like $350 right now. So
yeah,
unfortunate. Do you think? In fact, I was going to ask you, do you think prices go up from this point, or do you think they'll level out?
I think obviously basic economics are going to factor in at some point. Whether or not that point is in the next two products or it takes a little bit longer, I'm not sure. I mean, it's never happened where Topps or a company, not necessarily Topps, but a company has to launch licenses. So they launched WWE last January. Then you have basketball in October. Then you have football coming up in April.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many people that you can bring in off the street to help you sort of get these brands, these massive licenses off the ground. So it's going to take some time for them to ramp up. And I think they're finally hitting their stride a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're starting to see more products get to market, which is great. We were starving for like the most of 2025.
Sure.
So adding a little bit more food to the food chain is going to help, but I don't know if it fixes every problem. I hope we get more affordable products because I'd like to rip some more, right? I'd like to join more case breaks at less than $100 a slot.
I can tell you this, that I think that even though the US market is being satisfied or starting to at least get a taste of it, the UK market, they were wanting it, and I don't know if they're getting any. One of the shops that I work with, they are Topps allocated, and at least as of the time when I left, they hadn't gotten any allocation for this product. And they have a lot of demand for WWE.
I have heard so many, like I get messages all day, every day, and I get so many messages from overseas collectors who are like dying to get their hands on some product here, and they can't. Like it's really unfortunate because wrestling is like this international appeal. It has, overseas you have all the European markets. They've been doing pay-per-views there. They've been doing major events. Then you have sort of like the Eastern markets where you have, China and Japan and everything. The history of wrestling in those areas is so rich. And like I know how hungry those collectors are for product. I think Topps, probably that's one of their biggest gaps since taking over. I think Panini did a tremendous job bringing specialized Asia products, like they had Select and a few others that were designated for those regions. And it really helps, right? It helps to expand the user base and expand the collecting base. And that's really what my goal has been since the beginning too. And I love seeing more of an international presence. I hope it happens more frequently here.
Last question for me, I guess, is just, if there was a collab that the WWE could do with either another individual or another, outfit, what would you want to see? Because obviously there's a lot of crossover with celebrities coming into this, but you also see WWE starting to move more to like the corporate area. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like, Happy Meals with WWE athletes in there. What would you want to see from that that's realistic?
I mean, they've recently done collabs with Bape, which 30-year-old street brand that I think was really cool to see. They've brought a lot of new cool shirts in and stuff, but like I want to see WWE shoes. Like, I think they've done it a couple of times where you can bring in like branded sort of like, I know Puma's been doing tons of collaborations with like Care Bears and Sesame Street and whatever. I would love to be able to get like regularly available drops of WWE shoes. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, like you can name a company, and WWE is probably open to working with them. I think just within the Topps sort of ecosystem, doing more of like the comic book crossovers that they could do with Marvel would be just some of the coolest cards they've ever built. They've done some Garbage Pail Kids stuff in the past that was beyond awesome. They had one-of-one sketch cards that were like oversized, like 5x7s in 2021 Transcendent, which still sell for like $5,000-$6,000 a piece.
Oh wow!
And like I think like those are the types of collabs that, because we're nerds and because we're wrestling fans, like we love seeing those types of things come to fruition, and I would love to see more of that for sure.
Ray, you got anything else for Adam?
No, I don't. I was going to ask you who was going to win the Elimination Chamber, but that already happened. So what do we got? Is Randy going to beat Drew? Is Punk going to beat Roman?
Man. Like one of my podcast co-hosts is like the biggest Randy Orton fan in the world. He had Randy Orton at his shop for Topps Hobby Rip Night. And he's been like saying Randy was going to win the Elimination Chamber for weeks. And I never believed him. I thought it was going to be Cody Rhodes. And I love Drew McIntyre. I love what he's doing for the run here. I want him to get an extended run because the last few times CM Punk has kind of come in and made him look pretty silly. So I think he deserves it with the work that he's putting in. So personally, I would like to see Drew come out of WrestleMania as a champion. I just don't think it's going to be one-on-one. I think there's going to be some other people added in where Randy doesn't actually have to lose, which is also something I don't want to see Randy lose either.
Yeah. I will ask you this card-related question, Adam, and then we'll get you out of here. And this the new product, the new WWE product that we have that we're going to be breaking on Friday, who do you think in these breaks of wrestlers that you think are underrated or coming up that people need to look out for and purchase now? That is it the Trick Williams? Is it the Javon Evans? Like, who do you think that you should go ahead and start buying now because you might regret it 5-6 years down the road?
Well, Trick Williams and Javon Evans are absolutely amazing. And I think they're still very, very undervalued in their own right. But there is one guy, or well, two, but one major guy that I think every single wrestling collector should take notice of right now. And that is Obafemi. He is so awesome. And I think he might end up going against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. If I had my druthers, he would do that. But I think like Obafemi is just going to be an absolute monster. I love his entrance. I love the way he walks to the ring. I love everything that he does in the ring. Him and like a guy like Kit Wilson, maybe, who does who has that banger of a theme song. Like I think both those guys are awesome. Kendall Gray is another one who has some cards that I think, it's base right now, but she'll be signing likely in upcoming products. And then you've got all these young up and coming stars that I think are just, WWE is ripe with prospecting opportunities here. A lot of baseball collectors are familiar with the concept of like buying them before they get to the big show. And like, then when they get called up and they start having these matches, you get to, capitalize on that. WWE for the first time has really created this farm system in NXT and Evolve that do that. And it's so awesome to see.
All right, so Ray, take all the names you just mentioned, up the price like 50%.
Dude,
on that
I know
break for Friday.
Is Obafemi signing in this product, right?
Yes, he has auto relics too, so they're event worn auto relics for Obafemi in there. I want to get a couple of them.
All right, well, there you go. This Friday on Fanatics Live, Adam just did a great job of promoting the break that Ray will be hosting. I'll be supporting in my normal clothing, more than likely, but
not Rikishi.
Well, it depends on if I can find a leotard in time, but otherwise,
Tribal cheeks. Come on,
maybe Paul Bearer. I already look like Paul Heyman, so I would dress up as Paul
Heyman. Exactly. But Adam, thank you again for coming on and giving us a little rundown from the wrestling world.
Absolutely,
appreciate your insights, especially with having Topps on just recently. It helps our audience to be more well informed. So, again, they can find you where?
You can find me at Main Event Wrestling Cards on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Main Event Wrestling Cards, or on Instagram at WWE Gellman, and then Book to Last on the Stacking Slabs podcast network.
Perfect. Thank you, Adam Gellman. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Adam Gellman. There's going to be some fun announcements coming from him, too. I thought we were going to share them with you, but apparently we are not sharing them yet. They are not official, so we're going to cut the very last part of that interview. Ray over here in his mask situated. I like the head swirl to get that fixed.
Little...
Oh, yeah, the little tassels.
Yeah, I'm like a ninja.
You are very much like a ninja. Do you know who this is?
Penta?
I know of Penta, but yeah. I was going to say that was going to be how I was going to finish that, but you didn't let me. So now no one, I can't prove that to everybody that I knew for sure.
I'm disappointed. He's not signing. He didn't sign in this product. So I'm actually disappointed.
Maybe on the next one. You know what? That'll just increase the value on his other cards. So
I agree.
There are a few other releases that I did want to talk about, and they are new releases. I'm going to try and coincide some of this with the other news I was going to talk about, which was some records that have been broken.
Ooh.
The first, actually, two records I'm going to mention real quick, because I thought this golden auction that just went off last week, apparently they had a ton of non-sport in there. I am mentioning these first two because I cannot segue into them naturally. The Bart Simpson, it was from the 1993 Skybox product of The Simpsons. It was the sketch of Bart drawn by Matt Groening, and it just sold for $35,000. It's the all-time highest public sale for that card. I just feel like we are continuing to see more and more records set for non-sports, and I am here for it all day long. I already mentioned that Judy Hopps from Disney 100 selling for $56,000. Very huge. It was the highest selling Pixar card ever. So, there's the other news, though, for new releases. First off, I mentioned this on the last podcast, but I didn't have much detail. I've got a little bit more now. There is a Topps Brooklyn collection coming out. It's called the 2026 Topps Brooklyn Collection Captain America 85th Anniversary. I don't know if you have to have all of that in the title of that product or not, but that is what it is being called. It is very much a Captain America focused product. However, not all cards are just Captain America related. There are going to be, I've seen some inserts that have Thor on there, that also have Captain America, that have animated and actor. Like there's an animated Chris Evans Captain America on there on the stained glass card, these stained glass inserts that look pretty cool. There's going to be other ones that are like comic book covers. There's going to be two different kinds of sketches in it, both like a regular, 3x2 card shaped sketch, but then also a shield shaped sketch. So it's a die cut sketch.
That's cool.
I think these are very cool. However, I don't have a ton of information because I don't know at this time if this will be a product that will be going to breakers or not. I think it is going to go to the big box shops because I've already seen some of them advertising it, like Steel City and Blowout, and I'm sure David Adams is as well. But I talked with my rep. He said he's thinking this might be like an online exclusive only / big box shop product. So I will just tell you guys this. If you want this product, March 6th, though, this Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern, you need to be going out to Topps website and being ready to buy this, or at least enter an EQL. I don't know if it'll be a pre-order or an EQL or what it'll be, but that is where it's going to be. I am very much wanting this product, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it any better than any of the rest of you. So I'll be online trying to buy it myself. But yeah, a lot of cool cards, some cool inserts, Captain America focused product. So I'm also, with that said, I'm kind of hoping it's not like a heavily produced product. The box that I saw looks like kind of fancy. So I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit of a shorter run. So I'm hoping that this product is not like just mass produced, because I don't know if Captain America is huge, right? But I don't know if he needs a product all to himself where it's just as produced as, say, Marvel Studios or something like that. It is only, I will also add, it is only a 50 card base set, so not a ton of cards in it, at least. So yeah, we got that one coming. Let's see. There's actually 3 different Marvel products being released here within the next month and a half. The next one is actually tomorrow. So by the time you're listening to this, the EQL for it will have already run. But it is the Topps Chrome Deadpool product. So
yeah, baby.
EQL is tomorrow, March 3rd. It is at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and it has all of the movie characters. So like it will have Hugh Jackman autos in there. It will have Ryan Reynolds autos in there. It'll have a few other of the stars from the movies autos. We have not gotten an official checklist yet, so we're not sure, but it is only a 100 card base set. This one, I do not know. I'm assuming this will be going to breakers and hobby shops, but again, the EQL is probably going to be your best bet at this moment, because I have not gotten my allocation for it as of yet, so I can't guarantee, but I would assume it would be. There's some pretty cool cards in there. I was also teased about one of the possible autographs in this card.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't say who told me, and I can't say if it's official, but it wouldn't necessarily be an autograph, but it could be a podograph. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say about it. If you can read between the lines and figure out, make some assumptions, there could be some cool, unique cards in this product, which would only, I feel like Deadpool's going to be like the most nonsense of products. Ray, I'll tell you afterward. I know you're thinking hard about what I mean by that, but
yeah, I'm just like remembering all the Deadpool movies and trying to link the references together.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to type it out in the chat to you right now, and you can know, but just don't say it out loud. Okay. So,
all right.
But all that being said, this product is like one of the ones that was teased as like more of the adult product, even though I haven't seen any cards that would make it be adult. So I don't know what that means. I am just curious what all cards are going to be on this checklist. I think if you're going to have like a nonsense non-sport product, it's going to be this one. I am very curious as well, like how many real characters from the movie are going to be in it. The fact that it's just called Topps Chrome Deadpool, I thought this was going to be Deadpool versus Wolverine, but I can't imagine they're going to do a separate Deadpool versus Wolverine product. So this is just focused on Deadpool, which
do we know that
I'm
it's
okay
going
with
to
that.
bringing all the unit, like even the comic book side of Deadpool and the movie side of Deadpool together?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. So definitely comic book and movie put together into one product, which is probably the best way to do it, because you get a wider array of characters and types of cards that you can put into it that way.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I'm just now finishing out typing. It wasn't very long, but talking and typing on a totally different subject is very difficult if you've never tried it. All right, so I finally just messaged them. They've got some really cool inserts in here. Obviously, people are going to be chasing the Ryan Reynolds ones, but one of my favorite ones is the Best Bubs insert, where it's like, it's angry Wolverine in his classic blue and yellow costume. And in the background, it's just like a rainbow with a Deadpool drawing of like Deadpool on a unicorn riding the rainbow. So it's just like Wolverine angry, but made in such a silly way. And it's like Best Bubs has like little hearts around it as well. I can't imagine that not being hugely popular as far as an insert to collect. So I would keep your eyes peeled for that one. That's definitely going to be a chase insert in my mind.
Is there any chimichanga inserts or anything like that?
Right, like that. It would be a waste if they don't have something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So I imagine we'll probably see some other things like that. Deadpool's just such a classic, fun, silly character, but he's also cool in a lot of ways. So it's like there's going to be a lot of demand for this product. I am really curious how big of a product it will be, because I don't know. Like the fact that it's a Topps Chrome product makes me think it'll be pretty widely available. I'm just hoping like too, we have some additional autos for maybe some other stars in the movie, even if they were just like, smaller roles. And I don't want to like necessarily spoil who some of those stars might be, but I can imagine there would be some in the Marvel universe and then just some that were used for like Channing Tatum's role, or, to have an auto for him for that character that he played would be pretty huge as well. So anyways, it's a product we don't have all the details for, but it is going to be an EQL as of this week. If you're interested, definitely check it out. We'll have more details as they come out.
Nice.
Last one. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, okay, so last product that is coming out. By the way, I did want to mention this, that Brooklyn collection that is, very heavily Captain America focused. There are also Spider-Man cards in there, which you would kind of expect since Spider-Man, I believe, is
he's from Queens, not Brooklyn.
Oh, that's right. Oh, well, you know what, though? It just says, it says New York Heroes. Oh, okay. It didn't say Brooklyn Heroes on there. So that makes more sense. So there's an insert that has like Spider-Man on it that they display in the marketing material.
That's cool. That's cool.
But no, the last product I was going to mention that we have not talked about is the Topps Finest Fantastic Four product. It comes out April 15th, at least as of now. I say that at least as of now just because I have not seen any other information on this. I'm sure it will, but it's just, I have not gotten other details. It looks pretty cool. There are some cool like variations on Spider-Man in there. There's obviously, you've got Galactus and other Fantastic Four characters. They're using this as not just a Fantastic Four only product, but it looks like just a Marvel Finest product that will be widespread throughout the Marvel universe, so long as I guess the character had some overlap with the Fantastic Four in the comics or something like that. It doesn't seem to be following the movie. It seems to be more specifically focused on the comic books, which I think is probably the right move, because by far, even though the autos in Marvel Studios are huge, I don't think they sell anywhere near as well. Like if you're reselling any of these cards, the characters don't seem to sell as well as the comic book character artwork does. Makes sense. I'm glad they're doing this as a Topps Finest, like Marvel Comics product. But again, no details other than Topps Pop put out a post about it. We've gotten some artwork, and the date that was announced was April 15th for it. So, that was the last new product I was going to mention. I was just going to add this though. So the upcoming 70th anniversary Disneyland product that is coming out here very shortly.
Dude, that product is looking better and better.
Right.
Every announcement that they have, I'm just like, man, I'm not a Disney adult, but if I was a Disney adult, I would be like,
oh yeah,
I would be freaking out right now.
Well, I did talk about a few of the cool inserts that they're doing on the last episode. But it has become one of these products that it's like, oh yeah, at first it looked cool, it looked fine, but you had to be like a big fan of Disney. But then as you start seeing more of the checklist and then more of the sneak peeks of like inserts and other like autos and just different ideas of relics that they've put into this, it's like, oh wait, I don't want that. Now I need that. Like that is like a must have. So, and it's not just like they've got like a lot of Disney movie related things that somehow had to do with Disneyland as well. So they've incorporated that. There's like Indiana Jones things. The reason I mention all of this though is because there was a exclusive, or that still is exclusive, but I don't know if you can still get it. There was an exclusive Disneyland 70th anniversary box that they were only doing at the parks, but they made it available online for at least a few hours late last week. I know because you went out and got me some on my request, but you can only get 2 per person. So I got some and I had my wife get some. Ray also bought a couple as well. But what it looks like, I don't know of all the exclusives in the box, but I do know at least 1 or 2 of the exclusives are these auto opportunity cards, which they are both raw and numbered. So, or they're both base and numbered, I should say. So there are parallels that you can get. I guess there's one of ones that you can get, but they are meant for you to get autographs from the Disney characters themselves. Mm-hmm. I can imagine people going to the parks and getting these signed, and that'd be a lot of fun for collectors. And so maybe it doesn't become super valuable, but I could also see people going and getting, like, sending to Jim Cummings or something for a Winnie the Pooh autograph and getting him to sign on there. And then all of a sudden it blows up. So I don't know, but I do think for the Disney adults who are also card collectors, that's going to be your kryptonite for your wallets. Like that, I feel like you're going to be chasing those cards very hard. I'm sure there's some other exclusives in there. I'm not sure of all of them as of yet, but the fact that they made them available, they were like $150 a box, and they made them available to the public for a short period, was kind of cool. It wasn't through Topps or anything. It was like through the Disney store.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was like
one of the inserts that I'm excited about was the attraction voice talent cards, which are like like with the autographs of the voices of like whatever character, like him.
Well, Jim Cummings signed for both Tigger and for Winnie the Pooh and that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think the Cosmic Chrome insert, which they do in sports for the sports products quite a bit and are very popular in that. The fact that they're doing that with Disney characters, I think that's such a smart play as far as like getting both the sport fan and non-sport fan involved in those cards. I think those are going to be very popular. And the fact that you have super fractors, they're not just like foil fractors or things like that. So yeah, overall, it just seems like a very cool product, better than what a lot of us were expecting. The only other thing I was going to mention was I think that the one of ones, like in there's going to be quite a few one of ones. I am curious, like how some of those, like the Disney, the Mickey Mouse Cosmic Chrome one of one. I'm very curious how that compares resale value wise, because I was looking at, I just saw someone made a post. Oh, it was like the Labubu. So Labubu just had a record sale in that golden auction for $58,000. It was like $58,000.
That was raw, right? It wasn't great.
Yeah, it was a raw Labubu one of one. Obviously, those are very hard to come by, but it sold for $58,000. And I think it was Slab Stocks or one of their accounts. They made a post where it was like you could get I think it was it was a one of one in both. It was the one of one Mickey Mouse in Topps Genesis from last year. And then there was also the 2025 Topps Chrome one of one Disney facsimile auto. Those combined sold for $58,800. And this one Labubu card sold for $58,700.
Yeah,
I think it just kind of goes to show the market for some people as far as the rarity of those Labubu numbered cards go. But it also, I think, highlights the fact that those cards, I don't think, have been sold in a little bit. And if those cards resold, I think they would far outdo that $58,700 Labubu. So
yeah, to your point, Jesse, this time period in the hobby in general is unprecedented.
Oh, people are spending crazy money.
So many record sales. We all know that the Logan Paul, $16 million for the Illustrator Pikachu, highest ever trading card to be sold. We see our boy, what's his face, strutting around town with his Ryan and his Michael Jordan card, thinking he's going to get $20,000 or whatever. $20 million, which...
What did you think about when Kevin O'Leary was wearing that? When I'm sure you saw it, because we talked about this on SCN, or at least I mentioned it. What did you think about that?
Copy and paste, man. Like, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, you cannot... I get what Kevin O'Leary is doing. He's doing the same thing that Logan Paul is doing, bringing attention to the card that's probably going to go up for auction here in a few... And I'm probably in the next year, but he's not going to do it as good as Logan Paul did it. And that's my opinion.
It feels cringy.
Might sell more than the Pikachu card because it is a sports card, right? What do you think? You think it's going to sell for whatever?
I don't know. It feels cringy to me. It feels like he's just trying to force it. He's trying to make a card. He's saying a card that he bought 6 months ago is now worth, I think it was like 65% more than what it was. And that doesn't make any sense to me. The market's gone up for some of the high-end goats, but the market was already pretty high at the time when that card was bought. It's why we all talked about the fact that, that card got sold for $12 million. It didn't just go and increase by 65% in the last 6 months, though, from the already high that we've been seeing. So I think, and then, he included the chain and there's diamonds on it and all this stuff. Whatever. You're just trying to upsell.
More original here. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, there was clout and coolness, even though I disagree, but that's what I think some would say came with the Logan Paul sale. Logan's cool, but Kevin O'Leary's not cool.
Exactly. As much as I think that Logan is cringy, all that stuff. He knows, he's got a huge following, not just from the business side, but social media side. And he is a WWE superstar. So he's on TV on a consistent basis. He wore the Illustrator card out to WrestleMania. He's a true collector of Pokemon. It adds more notoriety and more reason why to purchase that card. And, Pokemon is, again, the number one selling IP on the planet. But again, some of these record sales on the hobby has been crazy. I don't know if you talked about the Iron Man card that just set a record also for the biggest Iron Man card that just sold $136,000.
That was the last one I had on my records list, was that card selling for $136,000. So one of the reasons why that was on my list, though, was I pulled the superfractor of the Daredevil. So there's a Daredevil mask on card that I pulled for High Def Jeff, a guy in one of my breaks. And I believe he sold it for $8,000. Seeing that this card just sold for $136,000 for the Iron Man Superfractor, I don't think the Daredevil is going to necessarily sell for $136,000. But I do think that card just went up $50,000 or something like that would not be out of the realm of possibilities by any means at this point, seeing those kinds of numbers. Again, it does make me wonder, is the other shoe going to drop? Are we seeing something like we saw in end of 2021, 2022, where the market starts correcting because there's too much money that got spent? All I'm saying to people is, hey, if you can make hay while the sun is shining, good, go for it. Great. But if you are at all worried you're on the cusp, or if this is hey, I can't lose this money, don't go putting $100,000 or even any money that you can't afford to lose into a card because you think, I'm going to flip that in the next few months or something, because I don't know where the end stops. I don't think we're going to see necessarily a crash, but I do see a correction coming to some extent, just because you can't continue to go like this.
I don't know, man. Listen, you know how I stress the boots on the ground thing, and I know it's become a joke, but
I think it's real. I like it.
I am in the lines waiting for product with these people, and I have never seen lines this long waiting for Pokemon cards ever. And I was in the lines in 2020, 2021 with the Pokemon and the sports guys. When I was waiting in line at Target for the Ascended Heroes drop, there must have been 70 people in line just waiting for that drop.
That's crazy.
When I waited in line at the Sam's last Friday for the Prismatic bundles, there was 70 people in that drop. The hobby right now is probably the healthiest it has ever been. I would say ever.
Healthiest? Hang on. Yeah. It may be the most valuable. But is it the healthiest?
I think so. I think it's
You think it's healthy for people to spend this kind of money on cards when a week or a month or 2 months ago they wouldn't have spent, or they wouldn't have gone for maybe that much money, or nearly as much money? It's okay if cards go up in value, but when they go up 50 or 100% in the time span of 6 months or less, it feels like that doesn't feel healthy to me.
I don't. Which cards are you you're just throwing numbers out there? I don't think cards have done that.
I mean, if we're talking about actually, you know what? I don't know what the last sale of the mask off card did. So that's fair. I don't have that in front of me, but to me, knowing what the Daredevil did, I think it was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half, and seeing what this one's out doing, it just doesn't compute to me. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I should be more positive, but I guess while I am super positive about everything non-sport card related, I still don't want people to lose or take a risk on something because, oh, well, the guys on Hobby Nonsense were super positive about it. And they said it was like the healthiest market. And then I went out and bought this. And then all of a sudden the market corrected. You know what I mean?
Well,
like that's my fear.
Well, everyone always, we see the DMs coming and going. I get the DMs, you get the DMs, we both get the DMs. Hey, what am I buying? What should I buy? It doesn't matter what we say, right? We're not quote unquote experts, or even though I would like
quote experts, I would say that to some extent.
I would like to say that we know a little more than regular people, but still, if I tell you to buy something, you should still do your homework and know. I don't know what your financial situation is. I don't know whatever you got going on. It's just take everyone's advice as a grain of salt. Your collecting should reflect on what you have going on. What is your budget? If you're just looking to get into the hobby and make a quick buck, then you can, but sell it like immediately. Like you saw, Jesse, when I vended at the card shows, there's cards that I bought them the same day and made $90, made $100. Because I know that the market is going to go down. So I'm not going to be left with the bag. I've been in this hobby long enough to know that what is going to happen, what are some trends. So I'm just throwing that out there. Even though I do think that the hobby is the healthiest it's ever been, like to your point, Jesse, everything comes up and things will come down eventually, but it's never going to crash. It's going to correct itself. And we're seeing prices right now, like 151 is going crazy right now. Crown Zenith is going crazy. Anything, it's crazy. Like I just wanted to bring up some other record-breaking Pokemon sales at the last gold, like a Gold Star Pikachu and PSA 10, $148,000. Okay, a first edition box of base set, $496,000, new record, and of course the $16 million illustrator card. And this is the biggest one, in my opinion. The new record for a first edition PSA 10 Charizard just sold for just short of $1 million, $954,000. That is absolutely insanity. If you were to sell that card probably in the next year, it would be $1 million card. So just think about that. The Charizard, first edition Charizard card in a year from now, I predict will be $1 million card. Think about that, Jesse. That is insanity.
First off, stop forcing me to think about things. I don't like to be forced to think. But
you've been on vacation 2 weeks.
I know.
I need you to get that. I need you to get those hamsters on that wheel and start working, baby.
Okay. Can I just say this? So while you were talking about this, I was looking up I wanted to find a Gold Star Pikachu because I think that was the first one you mentioned. Gold Star PSA 10 Gem Mint, obviously. It was sold for $148,000. I am trying to. This is from 2006 Pokemon X Halon Phantoms. Is that right? Did I get all that right?
Yeah.
Is that how? Do I pronounce any of that incorrectly? Okay.
It's a bigger set, but
well,
I'm going to see.
The reason why I asked this is just because I wanted to see what the last one of those had sold for. And as I pull it up, I see 148,000 sold February 15th. I see another one. Hang on, I'm just making sure that everything is the same. 2006 Pokemon Pikachu. This says reverse holo. Is that the same?
No.
That's not the same. Okay. Yeah. So this would just be, I guess, it's a PSA 10. Hang on. Sorry, bear with us, folks. I'm just trying to make sure. Okay.
Gold Star Pikachu.
Okay, here we go. So apparently they don't come up all that often.
No, sir.
But within the last 6 months, what do you think the last sale of that card did? This is the Holo PSA 10 2006 Pokemon Gold Star.
The
Pikachu.
one that sold before the 148 sale.
Yes, yeah. Without looking, don't go Google
100.
100,000. Okay. Do you think it's healthy that card tripled in value in the last 6 months? Because that's my concern. It sold for $42,100 September 3rd.
So you're saying it's tripled in value. So if I say it's 100, that's not tripling in value from 100 to 148. So you're saying that
it was sold for 42,000 is what I said. 42,000.
So the last sale sold for $42,000?
Correct.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, is it not? And then guess what?
Crazy.
There was one that sold May 29th. And again, from everything I'm seeing, it looks to be the exact same card. I'm just checking even what it says on the PSA label. Yeah, it's the same grade. May 29th. That same card sold for $17,250.
Gold stars are hot, man.
They're hot, but are they hot to go up almost 10x in less than a year? I dare say we are living at times where you need to be very careful with what kind of money you're dropping on some of these cards. Because yes, I do think like if the people who are doing this are like the crypto babies and like the people who like made tons of money by doing very little, and that's how they want to spend their money, go for it.
Can I get a time out, Jesse?
Go.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the record sale for this Gold Star Pikachu.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sticker on it also.
NBA Silver Diamond certified.
Yes. So I think maybe that's why.
I guess if that has anything to do with I don't know how that makes it that much different, but maybe it does. Maybe that's increasing the value from September by $106,000.
Well, isn't there a premium on that?
Yeah, that's
diamond?
including but that doesn't matter because at the end of the day, someone's still willing to pay with that premium price. So Ray is holding up his PSA 6 of the Gold Star Pikachu. Yeah. So there's just I'm not saying like we're not in one of the more lucrative time periods in the hobby.
You know what this guy's doing now?
What? He's holding up a felt hat Pikachu, by the way.
I think it's 21 or 22.
2200. So again, Ray, I just encourage you to consider the comments that we're making about health of the market versus quality. Like if you want to resell, that's like the best time to sell your cards, especially if they're GOAT cards. I would agree with that. I just don't know if I would say it's necessarily the healthiest if people are overspending on cards. And maybe they're not. Maybe this is just the new era as the general public enters the market. Maybe this is where we go. Maybe people start fully understanding like, oh, cards have value. And now we live in a world where everybody gets it. And so there's a lot more money and all cards have gone up significantly in value in a very short period of time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just being negative about it. I just want to be leery. That's all I want to be.
I get it. Yeah.
And you're leery, but leery.
Pun not intended. But you mentioned GOAT cards, and I just want to make sure that people know we talk about sports GOATs in general, but I just want to let everybody know that is watching, that is listening. If you don't know what a GOAT Pokemon card to collect, I'm fixing to tell you, okay? Anything first edition, you should pick up, okay? That's GOATed. Any Poncho Pikachu, GOATed. Pick them up. Any Gold Star, GOATed. Pick them up. Any Crystal, GOATed. Pick them up. I would say those are the ones, if you really want to invest, I think those are the safest blue chip, GOATed TCG Pokemon cards that you can pick up that I do not think that you will lose money on. And again, take my advice with a grain of salt, but that's my perspective.
Did you say the Cardass? You didn't mention those. Are they not GOATed yet?
I don't think they're GOATed yet.
All right. Well, I want them to be GOATed. So I
think those are good invest. What do you call them? Not blue chip stocks, but the ones that are like risky, but
they're not penny stocks. It's got to be better than penny stocks. I didn't spend $1,300.
What's the one where you can invest in and it's like high return, high risk?
Penny stocks. I mean, you could any, well, let's call it a mid tier. All right. It's not large cap. It's not small cap. Let's call it a mid cap investment. All right. So for all you financial
you're
nerds,
picking up Skyridge, you're picking up Aquapolis, you're picking up.
All right. Well, it'll soon be a large.
We're getting
cap,
real. I didn't mean to get into the weeds, but again, those are the blue chips, the goats. Yeah, dude, my Poncho Pikachus have skyrocketed in value within the last 3 months, like to a point to where, is this the time where I need to get out of them?
By the way, if you guys haven't watched over on our YouTube channel, Ray's been wheeling and dealing at the Nashville Card Show. It's some great content. The shorts have been doing very well. I would encourage anybody to go out and check it out because it felt like I was just watching like all of the other professional videos out there. And not to say you're not professional, it's just the first time you've done one of these. And I thought I was like, oh, this guy does it just as well as any of those guys do. But it was like really engaging.
First time I vended at a card show ever.
First, not last.
Maybe next time you can come with me.
I hope so. Hopefully I'm in the country. All right. So there you go. If you guys haven't already checked out our socials, check it out. If nothing else, just to see Ray and I in 7th grade gym taking school photos sitting next to each other.
Bro, when I found that picture, my mind exploded.
It is. Here's the thing. I do remember us being next to each other in a lot of lineups just because we were both like, you were a big kid, like not as like heavy as I was, but you were tall. And it was just like, I feel like there were a lot of times where we were kind of like sat near each other. Because like, I think the bottom row was for like the bigger kids in school.
The big kids?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
If you guys go check out the Instagram, you can see that fun photo as well as all the other content. But please, as usual, we thank you very, very much. And we ask that you please continue to like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Leaving positive reviews is super helpful as well. If people ask like, how can we help? How can we contribute? Those are some ways. You can also, if you love wrestling, come over on Friday to Fanatics Live under the Hobby Nonsense channel. You're going to see Ray Pinta Solar Ray. I want to say like I'm trying to end it with like your last name, but Ray is not the last part of your nickname. It's the first, or it is the last part. It's not the first part. So I can't start this saying out with Ray Solar
Pinta Ray.
Solar Pinta Ray. It's Ray Solar Pinta Ray Solorio. That's how we'll do it. That makes sense.
But we'll be on Fanatics Live this Friday. By the time you're listening to this, the spots will already be up. So go ahead and check that out. And if you want a little bit of appetizer, by the time you're listening to this, I actually opened up a hobby box. It's up on our YouTube right now. So check that out and see all the cool stuff that you could possibly get on our Fanatics Live break.
I didn't know that. So you put up a WWE Universe box opening, the hobby box opening? Nice. Correct. There you go. Yeah, guys, go check that out. And we will see you all on the next episode of Hobby Nonsense. See you.